You've probably heard the statistic: the average person spends 90,000 hours at work over their lifetime. That is 1/3 of your entire existence. But here's the part that they don't tell you in school. Over 70% of people report feeling either disengaged or actively miserable during those hours. If you're waking up with that heavy Sunday night dread, you aren't just in the wrong job, you're actually on a path that doesn't align with who you are. And in 2026, the stakes are higher than ever. With AI shifting the landscape and traditional safe roles are disappearing, picking a career that isn't just like a one-time decision anymore, it's a survival skill. Today, we're breaking through all the noise. We're giving you 5 steps, data-backed blueprint to find a career that pays the bills and also fuels your energy. We're moving past the follow your passion cliches and getting into the actual mechanics of how to design a career. By the end of the video, you'll have a roadmap that most people take a decade to figure out. Let's get into step 1. Step 1 is the Ikigai audit. Most people make the mistake of picking a career on just one of the circles. They pick what pays well and they end up wealthy but depressed. Or they pick what I love and then they end up with passionate but broke. To find your path, you need kind of an intersection of these things. Let's break down how you actually audit this. So grab a notebook because we're gonna dive deep. First, your joy list. Don't think about job titles, think about actions. Do you like organizing chaos? Do you like explaining complex things to people? How about do you like building things from scratch? Write down the last 3 times you lost track of time while working on something. Second, your skill list. What do people naturally ask you for your help with? If your friends always come to you to fix their tech, settle their arguments, or perhaps design their resumes, those are marketable micro skills. So lean into those. Third, the market reality. Look at the high growth sectors for 2026 and beyond. Renewable energy, AI ethics, specialized healthcare, and creative strategy. If your job and skills don't overlap a market need, you have a hobby, not a career. I know, harsh, but we are looking for the sweet spot where your natural curiosity meets a problem the world is willing to pay to solve. If you find the overlap of at least 3 of these circles, you're already ahead of 90% of the workforce. So this is key. Step 2 is identifying your work flavor. This is where most career counseling fails. They tell you what to do, but not how you would like to do it. Are you a specialist? Are there people who want to be the absolute best in the world at one narrow thing? Think of a cybersecurity architect or a neurosurgeon. They want to go deep, solve the hardest puzzles, and be the go-to expert. They thrive in quiet, focused environments. Or are you a generalist? You get bored doing the same thing over and over again every day. You like connecting dots between maybe different departments. You're a T-shaped professional, broad knowledge across many fields with a straight line in one. If you are a generalist trapped in a specialist cubicle, you will feel like you are suffocating. If you're a specialist in a chaotic startup where you have to work and wear 10 hats, you'll feel like you're failing. So ask yourself, do I want to be the best at one thing or the connector of many things? This choice alone eliminates 50% of the wrong career paths for you. That's huge. So think about your energy levels at the end of the day. Did you feel better after a day of variety or a day of focus? Step 3 is shadowing shortcut. Most people base their career off a vibe or a TV show. You think being a lawyer is like Suits. It's actually 90% of reading documents in a windowless room. You think about being a marine biologist is like swimming with dolphins. It's mostly writing grant proposals and analyzing water samples in a lab. You need to see that the unfiltered daily grind is more about this homework. So you're gonna go to LinkedIn, find 3 people who are 5 years ahead of where you want to be. Send them a micro request. Something like, hi blank, I'm a huge fan of your work in blank field. I'm currently deciding on my career path, and I would love to ask 3 specific questions about your day-to-day. Could I buy you a 15-minute virtual coffee? Something simple like that. When you get them on a call, Do not ask, do you like your job? Everyone will answer yes to that. Ask these 3 questions instead. What is the most boring or annoying part of your average Tuesday? What is a skill that you use every day that you didn't learn in school? And 3, if this industry disappeared tomorrow, what would you do instead? Their answers will tell you more than a 4-year degree ever could. If the boring part of their job sounds like something you can handle, then you've probably found a winner. If their worst day sounds like a nightmare, you just saved yourself years and years of regret, most likely. Step 4 is the beta test. You wouldn't buy a house without doing a walkthrough first. Why would you commit your life to a career without a trial run? Same kind of concept. Before you quit your job or enroll in a master's program, run a minimal viable career test. If you think you want to be a data analyst, go to Kaggle, download a data set, and try to find an insight. If you find yourself losing track of time because you're so into the data, that's a green light. If you want to be a content strategist, offer to manage the social media for a local nonprofit for 2 weeks, just to get a feel for it. The goal here isn't to make money, it's to collect data on your reaction to the work and how it makes you feel. Does the pressure of the deadline excite you or paralyze you? Do you like working with a team or flying solo? The beta test is your insurance policy. If it feels like a chore now, the career will feel like a prison later. If it feels like a challenge you would want to solve, you're on the right track. This is really, really helpful information. The 2-year pivot rule. Finally, step 5. The biggest thing that paralyzes people is the forever fallacy. The idea if you pick a path now, you're stuck until retirement. So in this modern world, your career is a skill stack. You aren't picking a destination, you're picking kind of a direction for the next 24 months, at least. Commit to a path for 2 years. In those 2 years, focus on portable skills. Things like high-level communication, data literacy, and project management. At the end of the 2 years, you can do a pivot check. Do I stay? Do I use these new skills to jump to a related field? This mindset removes the fear of failing or getting stuck. You can't fail if every move you make is just adding to what we'll call your skills backpack. You aren't starting over, you're just starting from experience. Choosing a career isn't about finding the perfect job that exists in the world. It's about building a life that aligns with your strengths and the reality of the market. Here at Tiggbee, we're all about helping you navigate these shifts and building a future that actually fits you. If this 5-step blueprint gave you a little bit of clarity, do us a favor and hit that subscribe button and join the Tiggbee community. We're dropping deep dives like this every week to make sure that you stay ahead of the curve. We want to hear from you in the comments. What's a career path that you've always been curious about, but perhaps too afraid to try? Let's talk about it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.